from the, I guess, the ridiculous to the sublime. The most logical thing that we're waiting on is the Monty Morris news. He rates to be one of the top plays on the slate, and if he is out, then other stuff might emerge as really, really good plays also. He's currently questionable, but I'm watching we're all going to be watching the discords and all this stuff to make changes as far as that goes. But we're waiting to see what happens over there. And the other thing on a more macro level, which is actually really interesting, is that is the Oklahoma City game. There's all kinds of electrical issues over in Oklahoma City, and the governor is actually calling for the game to be canceled. But it's not up to the governor. It's an NBA and health officials decision. I haven't seen anything on it in the last few minutes. Nothing particularly. I'm definitely going to see definitely going to see that when it comes up. Yeah. Hey, Bobby.
Hey,
so, wait.
Vanderbilt is at 26% ownership on FanDuel.
Oh, wait, that's mine. Hold on a minute. Let me.
I don't want. So I basically want everybody.
Hang on. I got. This is the problem. I got to see which browser this is on before I turn this off. So.
Did he say no?
Yeah, this one. Okay. So I was mentioning to everybody that the two main things we're waiting on. Number one is the ridiculous sublime. The most logical thing we're waiting on is the Monty Morris news. But the other thing is just I want to make sure that this Oklahoma City game even plays in the first place.
Yeah, I think that is being sort of not as reported as you would think throughout the industry. I don't know if there's any edge to really gain on it because I think we'll know before the 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But so it's sort of like, we just wait or whatever. But maybe the players in that game, it's interesting too because, let's just talk about that game real quick just in case it does get canceled because I don't think that there's anybody in that game that you need to play. I think that Cantor's fine, Horford's fine. I don't think these are incredible spots.
My initial builds have 0 OKCs, even presuming the game plays. But I do have Portland's.
Yeah, the Lillard, Derek Jones part because we need the value is the part.
And also, I'm playing a little Anthony.
Yeah, and I liked the idea for the Simons thing. I actually think that that's a pretty good pivot off of the Derek Jones situation, or not that he's going to be so popular, but nobody's going to play Simons. Simons and what you do is I think if you play Simons, it's real simple. I don't think that Bryn Forbes is I think he's a safer play than Simons. And I think he's actually got enough, he doesn't need to get you a bunch here. He can get 25 in this matchup for sure. He can get 20 for, at least. And that's what I would do is just switch over to him. Same position, easy enough.
Hey, Kobe, while we're waiting on news to come, I might as well answer this before more people come.
So
yeah, I mean, back a long time ago, I used to coach some really high level adult leagues back when I was in my 20s, actually. And then when my son became, old enough, like 6th, 7th grade, I started an AAU team, and I started them I have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team, and I ran them all the way through their 12th grade, but I did it a lot differently than a lot of AAU coaches. I did analytics, I videotaped every game, I kept really, really in-depth stats, stuff that NBA teams do, and I did that to 7th and 8th graders, which was really amazing actually. And we got to play, again, it was kind of cool to see them grow. I have a couple of kids playing in college now. I mean, nobody you'd heard of or anything like that. But then what's also kind of fun is to see some of the kids we played against, some the top kids, kind of for example, I don't know if you've been following any of these, but Cole Anthony, we played against him when he was in 8th grade. We played against Moses Brown. Moses Brown certainly got a lot more playing time in AAU than he's getting in the NBA right now, but hell, it's freaking NBA, man. And then there's a guy that I played against since 4th grade who's a freshman at Ohio State right now. His name is Zed Key, who is amazing. But I gotta remember him since he was the tallest kid in the league at 5 feet tall in 4th grade. So that's what I've been doing there. So do I like Facundo for value? Yeah, he's going to be good if Monty Morris gets ruled out. But see, this is unfortunately this is the new narrative tonight. That see MJV. This is the new thing I'm hearing is people are trying to find a way to fade Harden because they think they're going to get blown out. I think that's asking for trouble, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm too interested in. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I mean, he literally is the whole team right now. I don't know. I just don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do think that there is, some danger in that game. And then the thing is, like, it's not just that he's not going to get there or something. Like, he's not going to put up 55 or 60 fantasy points. But you've got Jokic, you've got Giannis, you've maybe got Lillard if that game plays. You've got LeBron, you've got my guy who I'm still on completely, and no one's going to play him, Karl Anthony Towns. I'm starting to lean maybe towards middling out my builds. I do want to have like one Harden and Giannis lineup, but I think that I'd like to be middling some of the other ones. And maybe it is hard to fade him, but there are other guys here and there are other routes to getting to 350 or whatever it would take tonight. And I think that's roughly, a guy like DeAndre Ayton could put up 50. Although actually, I'd rather play Ayton in that. Actually, with my Harden and Giannis lineups, I am playing Ayton just to try and I want the run back, and I'm using some other Brooklyn stuff. Hoping that game stays close and that Ayton does go off because I think he is going to go off tonight.
Yeah, what I'm doing with my Harden Giannis lineups is I'm making sure that they have either Booker or Paul or Fred VanVleet or Lowry in them. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure at least have some kind of run back from each game.
Yeah, we got another take in here from Eric Johnson. What's up, Eric? Just about Chris Paul tonight, and it's interesting because I actually thought Chris Paul would have some ownership earlier in the day. It's pretty easy to see why he's not going to with the love for Giannis and Harden. I do think, like I just am saying, there's just other routes. You know what I mean? If you don't pay more than $9,300 for a player, you could balance out your lineups a lot better and not use this pretty weak value until we get the Morris news, that is. And I think you're in a pretty good spot. Like with, you could play guys, you play between Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Ja Morant.
Monty Morris is out.
Monty Morris is out. That's important. Okay. So now it's going to be a lot harder not to play. Well, so we like Campazzo, but I mean, the thing is I like RJ Hampton also here. I'm gonna have to see.
Let's see if we get a starting lineup. Let's see if we get any kind of color about minutes or something like that. So so we'll do a little game log before projections update. We could see what's been going on with this Denver guys. So RJ Hampton, he's been getting 20 minutes anyway, right? I mean, he's been doing fine. I mean, nothing major, but he's getting some rebounds. Look at all these rebounds he's been getting.
So RJ Hampton is a talented rookie who actually played for a good team in the same league overseas as LaMelo. LaMelo's team was the worst team, but RJ Hampton is a talented young guy who I wouldn't be surprised if they gave some run to, but it's not like they need to. They have other guys. Jokic and Murray are still there. They're both can run the point. You still have Michael Porter Jr. It's not like these guys are all going to smash, but we are looking for that value. So I do think that they're at the moment. You're probably going to want to play one of those guys if you're going to try and do the double stud thing.
Yeah, there's a now as we wait for projections to update and all this stuff. There's another take which I wanted to share with you, and you actually touched on this a little bit, but there was like more. And you kind of summarized in like 5 seconds what someone else took like forever to do. Is that I think that if you want to play another kind of like sneaky value play is Bryn Forbes.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah, you did earlier, and it kind of goes along the lines also of what I was saying also that I think Toronto is a really good team defensive team. And if I were them,
I think when you think of Toronto, you think of Toronto from the past. They're nothing like what you think they are. This team is they're what are they 11? They're 10-14 or whatever they are right now. They play every game as a shootout. They don't play defense. They have no interior rim protection. Without Ibaka and Gasol, they are not a good defensive team anymore.
Okay.
That's the way I'm treating it anyway.
What I was going to say is they're smart. They always play well together. So if anything, they would try to take away Middleton and the other one and Giannis. And Forbes or anybody that could like drill threes can have a field day. So that was going to be my logic a little bit, but
yeah, I'm going to answer a couple quick questions because one thing, Time Lord season, Eric, I do like Time Lord a little bit as a tournament play. I actually really do. I just think at 3,100 and it's not hard for him to get there. He was good to me the other night when I played him. I think 20 plus fantasy points, he might have the opportunity here. You could easily see Thompson in foul trouble. He could get in foul trouble. You could actually see some lineups where he and Thompson are both out there at the same time. I don't think it's going to happen too often, but it's possible. But I'm not so sure that the 15, 16 minutes you're seeing out there for him is necessarily where he'll be. I think there's a chance you can get into the 20s. The questions about Giannis and Middleton in the same lineup. I think it's okay. I would hope you have a run back there, and I think it's better on FanDuel than it is on DraftKings. But I think that you are asking for a lot from two guys, and with no run back, I think that it's okay. There's good other options you can play instead. But I just think that there's other ways that I'm building. I don't find myself using them together a ton, but I don't think it's bad. Sheets, how about you?
Yeah, I do think that that it's possible to make that. I mean, like if you can get, I think you should play it in like you said, like a full kind of game stack, because if you got a 235 point total that God forbid that goes to overtime, you basically win. It's like,
right.
So yeah, I would I second your commentary that I would actually want to run back from Toronto regardless, even if I'm just playing Giannis. So I guess even more so if you're playing more than one of them. And again, remember my shell that I put in there earlier had like $3. It also had Portis, and even more so. I mean, like if you're going to do that, then you better. I mean, you really better. You almost want to put two Torontos in there. I don't know.
Right. Then we asked our favorite center on FanDuel other than Jokic. It's pretty simple for me. Earlier in the day, I was thinking more about Kanter and Horford, and I think that they're both fine. But I think I just would rather go for the 8 and upside or take an unknown Karl Anthony Towns, who could literally outscore Jokic.
The other thing I would say is if he becomes, I'd have to just do a little bit of game log rewatching with respect to Campazzo, if in fact he becomes really popular, because I do remember the blow up game that he had was really just reeked of an outlier as I was watching it happen. But let me just see what he's done since then. He did have 27 his last game. I'm going back to, where was I? I guess this one against Utah, I suppose, where he had he wasn't that big a game. So I don't know if he becomes too popular. I might fade that. I'm not sure.
So my thoughts on Campazzo are pretty simple. I like Campazzo a lot as a real life basketball player. I think he's actually there for a reason. He's well known internationally as a wonderful defender, and you can see it every time he plays with a ton of energy. Unless he's really making threes, he's probably not going to have a monster game, especially while Murray and Jokic are in the lineup. The assist numbers shouldn't be crazy, but he's going to stand out as an obvious value, and he's going to be really popular. I don't think that you should fade him, but I think that you should build some lineups without him.
Maybe I'll do more of what you were suggesting, is instead of worrying about which 3,200 guys to play, maybe you said maybe don't play the Giannis Harden lineups. Maybe play someone neither of them and just middle out the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be tough, but
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's still a good play, right?
What's that?
He's still a good play.
Yeah.
Even though Monty Morris is out, right? We talked about this earlier.
Yeah. I'm finding myself falling a little bit in love with Schroeder. I just feel like
you know what? I've been off of that whole side all day. The only two guys that I was even, you could talk about Schroeder. The only two guys that I was even considering was THT and Harrell. So talk to me about
so Schroeder's been really good in these spots at times in the past. He wasn't obviously in the last game where they got smoked. His usage should be really high, and this literally couldn't be a better matchup for him. I also am not entirely buying in. Not that look, I like LeBron actually as a play a little bit, but I do think that what I'm going to with my middling build, Schroeder just makes the most sense, and I just feel like he's always between 30 and 40 with upside here. Like I really do. I just don't see how he doesn't put up a big game against this absolutely dreadful defense in Minnesota. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it just makes sense to me at his price. And again, without Davis on the court, he's been really good at times. Again, he's had some struggling games as well. But yeah, he's a guy I'm definitely into on both sides.
You know, the other thing, again, whenever we this was the same Celtic logic when we were trying to figure out whether to play which backup point guard or whatever. We'd say, well, screw it, play Jaylen Brown or whatever. It's not exactly the same, but instead of playing Campazzo, can you just play Jamal Murray?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like Murray. I mean, he's another one you could use for your middling build too. I think his ownership's going to be higher than what people are projecting him right now because of the Monty Morris news.
Yeah, Morris is out, Eric.
I'm just trying to get my things right because, like, if I'm going to play Towns, I probably not the lineup I need to take the shot with Robert Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I can play a little bit more chalk in that I like DeAndre Jordan, who, not that I love DeAndre Jordan tonight. I think he's actually, I mean, obviously he's going to be a really chalky play. But I do think that it's a good spot for him, and he should move he should be in the starting lineup. He should have to play against Ayton. 4,500 is totally reasonable for his minutes, and that's all I got on him. I mean, I don't think he's an amazing play. I was looking to try and fade him, but when I'm already playing a guy like Towns, I don't necessarily need to go for that fade there. Towns and then Jordan.
Now, again, we have to remember. Don't forget the obvious here, right? So you have Kyrie out. So who else besides Harden is going to pick up that usage? Is it back to Bruce Brown? Is it TLC? Is it both? You're missing now Harden and Kyrie. Excuse me, Durant and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Joe Harris. I mean, Joe Harris was going to, probably do the same anyway. But, if we forget, I mean, if everybody goes freaking totally ballistic and playing for Facundo Campazzo and TLC goes off at 3,900, I mean, no one's got anybody to blame, right?
I'm playing TLC.
Yeah.
I played some TLC and some Bruce Brown. Mostly, it's a little mini stack of that game. It's playing Harden and a couple of those guys with Ayton on the comeback.
Okay, so I got a couple of sites are starting to update. And then I have to see where that kind of looks. So Jokic, Campazzo. Oh, and what about your other guy? Excuse me. What about we didn't talk about the other guy that you mentioned. Is Zeke?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a little bit thinner not to play the guards value in Denver now, but I think it's okay. I have some shares of him.
I mean, he's 3,100, right?
Yep.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
Yeah, it's really not. It's I mean, I would rather play Time Lord, but it does take up a better spot.
No, wait, what is this Time Lord business?
Robert Williams.
That's why is he called that?
He's always been called that. I actually don't remember what the reason is for originally. I'm sure everybody in chat knows.
But is that like his nickname, or is that like his
forever? Yeah, it's all anybody. I mean, like literally, people say Time Lord, I think, more than they ever say his name.
Is that like what was the James Johnson, the neck tat?
Neck tat, yeah. But also, you don't want to say Robert Williams because it just sounds like a.
It just sounds bad, huh? Okay.
No, it just there's too many Williams. What Williams? Robert? Like it just doesn't. I don't know. It's not like a name. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
you were doing that earlier with Grant Williams, right?
Yeah, I did that earlier. Like, but I was
Which
talking
one
about
is it?
Robert Williams.
You sure Robert Williams is the Time Lord?
Positive.
Okay. Because I like the Grant Williams. You like the Robert Williams. Okay.
Well, okay, yeah. So here's the thing about Grant Williams. He doesn't do anything. He's an okay defender. He's played 30 minutes. So he's played 30 minutes and put up like 10 fantasy points. Robert Williams.
That's not a lot.
It's not possible for Robert Williams to play 25 minutes and not put up double-digit fantasy points. It's just not 20 minutes. He just does too much on the court.
So I got to change that thing. Because I was playing the wrong Williams then. I was playing the non-nickname guy, I think.
I am having a hard time fading Harden just on logic. Like it's really hard to do.
I mean, they should they should put that in the DraftKings thing. They should put in Time Lord and Necktat, and they should so that this way there's never any confusion.
Yeah, exactly. Geez, you got a cheap small forward by any chance on DraftKings?
Yeah, a TLC.
Yeah, TLC and Derek Jones. I've got. I needed one of these guys to be small forward eligible over here. Oh, we got more Thunder. Thunder are starting Maladon, Dort, Williams, Baisley, and Horford.
I might be off of that whole game. I mean, that whole team.
Yeah, I don't think like the worst thing to do is play Maladon at all. I don't have any problem. I can't believe Anthony Edwards is 6K. Jesus.
He's a good play. He might be a good play. I
don't know about that. Terrible. I don't know. I mean, he can get hot. He can always get hot. But even when he does,
that's what you need. You just need guys to get hot. I'm telling you, who's going to end up not. He's going to he's going to be lower owned earlier today, and he's going to remain lower owned. And that's your kitty cat.
I'm playing him.
I know.
100%. I'm playing him. Not everywhere, but I'm playing him on DraftKings in one of my two big ones.
I like it. I gotta see if it make it.
I can't believe he's going to be completely unowned here. Like
he totally is.
I know. You play him. So what I'm trying to do is build around him with some semi-chalk because no one's going to play him.
Yeah, you don't need to go crazy.
No, I really don't on him.
But what's the good chalk? I don't even know what it is.
So, okay, so I'm gonna like the JaMychal Green thing does worry me a little bit. With this mix, his usage hasn't been very good. I'm still going to play him. He's too cheap. There's going to be too many minutes. I just can't exactly resist him. So he's one of them. I like Michael Porter also. Campazzo is going to be massive chalk. I don't mind using him in that lineup. I'll probably keep him out of one of mine on DraftKings, one of my two big ones. Boy, it's I really wish that we had some more flexible positions here.
What were you looking for? I did the TLC small forward eligible.
Yeah, I'm changing my build a little bit. I just want to get something I feel a little bit more secure with. I mean, one of Campazzo and RJ Hampton has a game. Probably both are fine. I mean, you could definitely use them together. It's no problem.
Yeah.
It's just you're giving a lot of value to the first game when there always might be something. You know what I mean? Like, what if they announce for some reason that Horton Tucker starts or something?
Yeah.
You know, like there's
he played 25 minutes the last game, right?
Yeah, and if he started and they really, I don't know if they would do that really. The Lakers are pretty loaded anyway. It's kind of hard. Like, I mean, there's just a lot of bodies still.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all going to play like 20x minutes. So somebody probably gets there, but
this is cool. I got a little time, so I'm going to do a little.
What if like Wes Matthews was out or something? That would open up the minutes for those guys. Actually, that extra like 16 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to do an ownership run here.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to answer some questions in a minute, guys. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll do it at 3:30 or 6:30 Eastern. Okay. So if we just do
17 minutes ago. Shit. All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely building with it seems seemingly like with guards and forwards, forwards last.
Forwards last. Yeah, I mean, sure.
The guards are what you're trying to. The guards and centers, in my opinion, are what you're trying to get. But you still might end up with like some guys who are fine everywhere.
Yeah, you're middling. If you play cat, I mean, you're first of all, you're forced to not play Giannis and
Harden.
So you're already fine. I mean, like
I can play Harden with him though. I have no problem. Why can't I?
Not both is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could even play Middleton. Yeah, I like that actually.
Let me see what my stuff looks like. I was about to see the S word.
God, I hate playing Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. He fits in perfectly.
Yeah, so the Facundo, well, the ownership run is old, so they didn't even update for the Facundo yet.
For the Facundo. I think it's really funny that we're using his first name. It's hard enough to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. I'm still playing the other idiot, by the way. It's totally one of us is going to win because you're going to play Cat and I'm going to play Vanderbilt.
I'm playing some Vanderbilt too. I have Vanderbilt in my current big build on FanDuel.
Nice.
Power.
Let me see if anything changed on FanDuel. Yeah, that's always a question. Do you play the Facundo on FanDuel at 3,500 at point guard?
I
don't know.
I don't think so. I would just rather like play it. I guess play a little differently. It feels so stupid. Every time I take Giannis and Harden out of a lineup, I just feel like I'm making a mistake. It's weird. But like what I'm doing with that other lineup, just to give you an idea of the like, if I'm going to play Cat and Harden, I want some middling guys who I like that can still go off. And so I played Middleton.
Right.
You know, he fits in, and I think at 8K, he actually might end up coming in lower owned than people have him projected. He sometimes does that to us.
Who?
What's his name? God, I lost my train of thought when I started editing again. Middleton. Hampton.
It's a lot of these guys you could play.
I don't know if I'm not. I might be locking Harden in. This really feels sick, though. Bobby, come on, Bobby, you're better than this.
Oh, you have to you have to justify locking in Harden. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I'm not really locking him, but he's in all my big ones right now. I mean, so there's a lot of things. It's not just the usage. It's not just that. It's not just that he's going to get up for the game because he gets to show off by himself. It's not just that he gets to go up against his old nemesis teammate or whatever, Chris Paul. I mean, it's everything. It's not just the fact that he went to school at Arizona State and didn't have time to go out and party there because they were playing last night. Usually his game's in Phoenix.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
He's had some bad ones in Phoenix before because of that. So somebody else pointed that out in chat, but he didn't have time to go party last night because they were playing in California. So, I mean, there is always that chance, though. You know, I don't know.
He'll find a way to go out if he was going to.
If there's a way, he'll find it. That's for sure. All right, extra questions. All right. T-Wolves money line plus 220. I don't like them. But go ahead and do it if you want to. The Timberwolves, I just want to remind people, they've won 6 games this year, so let's not get all excited. Like as if they're really going to just beat the Lakers. They might beat the Lakers here. That's the NBA. It could happen, but I actually wouldn't touch that game.
Yeah, the NBA, I mean, the Lakers have been kind of playing to the level of competition a little bit now.
I mean, they've won almost all their games. They just lost.
Yeah, but like half of them are like in overtime, no?
Well, you said money line, though.
Oh, okay.
But they also that was a really weird 3-game stretch, and yeah, they to some extent maybe you're right. So yeah, So RJ Hampton's fine. You guys, RJ Hampton's fine. Minnesota stack. No, I don't like Minnesota at all as a stack. Rubio, Edwards, and Towns. I think it's a really, really bad combo. If you had to do anything and you were going to try something like that, just switch Rubio for what's his name? It's hard for Edwards and Towns and Rubio to all get there against the best defense in the NBA. Well, not the best anymore without Davis, but still good enough and a slower team. Yeah, I just wouldn't see that. I do like 2- and 3-man stacks in general. Absolutely. I'm into some of these game stacks. I'm into some of this stuff, but I don't think that is the game I'd want to stack. If I wanted to do it, it would just be like a LeBron or Schroeder versus Cat. I don't mind Rubio as an individual play separately, but I don't love it. And I don't mind I don't like Edwards, I'll just say that. But again, he can always make me eat my words, but I've been right every day on him because he just basically never crushes.
Edwards?
Yeah, even when he crushes, he puts up like 35 fantasy points. Like and he scores 30 real life points. Like, thoughts on Sammy Ojeleye?
You can keep it. I don't need it.
I mean, he's going to play the minutes. He's cheap enough. I think that he's viable. That's what I would say.
I got a question for you. Can you play Hampton and Composite together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's optimal, but I do think you can do it. I mean, it's not like terrible. It's really not bad.
I got you. That makes sense. Okay. Let me do FanDuel DraftKings now.
More questions here. Like Middleton. Any Rubio on DK for you about? I'm not playing any Rubio, but I don't think it's the worst.
So wait. So I have a question for the I have a question for the chat. For those of you that are here, and how do I put this the right way? So what would you want us to do? Like, let's say that we were going to do. Let's say we're going to do 2 different types of content, right? One what we're doing now, but other where we either charged or made it exclusive, or that we didn't have to do for like 1,000, for hundreds of people at once. Like, what would you want from us? Like, if you had your way, like, let's just say that we were your slaves, right? And you said, you know what, I'm paying these guys X amount of dollars or whatever it is, and I own Eric and Bobby, right? What would you want that we're either not doing or can't do or wouldn't think to? I mean, I have my own ideas.
We got a lot of answers on this question last time you asked it.
Okay.
And I'm curious, anybody could throw anything, but a lot of it was the core plays. It's harder with basketball because you almost need like someone to help you through the process of the
so be a little more creative. Well, actually, I shouldn't say be a little more creative because I don't want to steer you towards what I'm thinking. So yeah, I mean, for you guys, like, and expand your minds a little bit. Don't just say, well, someone else is providing this and you're not, so why don't you do that? Think of what no one's doing, or think of like what you would want that just doesn't exist. That I'm not saying we could do it, right? But what would be like, oh my God, that's actually really cool? Because I have my own ideas, and if but I really want to hear what everybody thinks.
Yeah, let us know, guys.
And you could pop that. You know what? If you want to put comments, you could. That's the type of thing, by the way, that you could tweet. You could DM me or something like that. I mean, I'm very, really bad with. Not very bad. I don't like to encourage people DMing me, like unless they have really something to tell me, right? But if you have some like some really genuine input into what you think that we could or would want to, or maybe wouldn't want to, but would be cool if we could kind of deliver either for paid or for unpaid or whatever, just put it out there, because I don't know everything, and I don't know, I don't know what's in your guys' heads. So just throw it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do it.
One thing, I gotta really just have a good day today, because I can't tell you how much I'm gonna have to spend on Abraham Answer at 7,300 when the golf comes.
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
So I mean, I think I need to win like 100,000 tonight. I really do. I'm telling you, God, this is gonna be like the most awesome golf slate. I mean, everybody is playing, from like your favorite players down to your favorite values down to whatever, and you're going to play everybody you want to play. and be happy about it. Like you're like Bobby, like you'll be able to play Sam Burns in the sevens if you want, for example, right?
You know that's happening.
And then like you could play like Morikawa in the nines if you felt like doing that. You know, you could play Hovland again in the eights if you wanted. I mean, like you could. I mean, you're giving up like, you know what I mean, like stuff to do that. But everybody's going to be really happy, I think, with their golf lineups. That doesn't mean that everybody's going to win, obviously,
Right.
but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really, really fun. And not only that, and also a lot of people are going to make the cut because even there's only 120 entrants, and it is a cut event. So you'll be, so a lot of people will be in. So I'm really, really pumped for this. I'm going to need to, with golf and NASCAR and MMA, because this NBA is wearing on me just a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a rough little bit here for it, especially. Like this has been as bad as it's ever been, pretty much.
But I'm not even talking about results. I've been actually like squeaking out some stuff. But
no, I mean,
it's so taxing.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about results either. I'm with you.
So I'm uploading.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of Aujalay where I'm using Aujalay, I'm definitely punting with one of the other guys because I'm not playing him to outscore them. I'm playing him to get extra value. You know what I mean? That was, I guess, going back to the Aujalay question because it was a good one, and I hate using Aujalay in the first game, but it's annoying. The answer for Porter or Crowder, I prefer Crowder today as the play, but I think there's a small, like, Portis is always the answer. I'm sorry. Like, I think Crowder probably scores more fantasy points today, but Portis is always the tournament answer, right, Sheets?
Portis as opposed to whom?
Crowder.
Yeah, sure. I'll buy that. I always like Crowder as a tournament play, though.
No, me too. But I mean, he's totally different now. He's a totally different situation now. Is he starting anymore? I mean, I don't think they've given him a starting job back yet, have they?
Oh,
no. He's not. It's not the same situation with Kaminsky there. It hasn't been at all. He was a fun play when he was playing 35 minutes, not when he's playing 24.
I built one up with 5 nuggets. I can't do that.
5 nuggets.
Yeah, I can't quite. Oh, but it ends up with Ja and Giannis. Oh man.
I like the Ja in the middling thing. I like Ja and Zion as a little combo. I really, and not just because it sounds cool, but like I actually like it.
Facundo. I might end up with a little bit of a Harden fade after all that nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Back to back, down the guys against a team that's been lighting it up and all this stuff. It's just hard to see where their usage goes. I don't know. I've got some. I mean, I've definitely got some non-Harden lineups. I just don't know if I'm going to do it in my big ones. I think I might actually do one without him in one of my big ones. But it does make me a little nervous, even with that.
OKC. How can this ever win? Well, that's the one you got to put in the 12. If you can't win, put it in the 12.
So what are you doing, Cheats, with JaMychal Green?
I don't know if I'm getting them.
Really? That's awesome.
No, I'm getting some. He sucks, though. He's such a good part of a Denver stack, though. You know, it's like, where is he? Maybe he just stinks.
He's the cheap part, that's for sure.
Try this. Bryn Forbes. TLC. I'll tell you, you know who I'm getting a little bit of? It's a little kind of sneaky. How about a little? I mean, how about a little sneaky LeBron?
Yeah, I have it. I have LeBron and with Cat. Talk about. I don't think LeBron is sneaky. I think people are actually going to play him.
You play any Grayson Allen on DraftKings?
No.
Okay. What about at the last minute? How about you play, then it locks, and then Harden gets ruled out?
Yeah, seriously.
As I used to, as my friend John DeMott used to say, don't bet against it.
Yeah, I've got 65% overall on DraftKings with Harden, but I definitely can lower a few spots here.
There's one more thing I have to do here. You have any Lillard?
Yeah, some. Not as much as I originally thought I was going to.
Bruce Brown is awfully expensive, isn't he?
You know what? I might have this phone call because it's a could be my test results, and I have to go outside to meet them. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that looks good.
Sorry about that. So we have to drop off our test results because we're in the quarantine here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we have to get tested in order to be around our family. We're through week 1, but one more week, and these tests have to be negative, obviously.
And then you finally get to see your dad? Is that the story?
I can see my grandfather and my whole family. Like, it's been a while, man.
And what's you and your daughter up there right now?
Yeah. So it's just us in this little place.
All right, so I have like 10, 15 minutes. So I'm going to do something. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. And then, well, you can throw me questions if you want.
Yeah, I'll read some questions in a minute. I just got to finish my lineup real quick. Yeah, I'm going for some of this Zion thing.
Hey, lock in your 40, right?
What's that?
Lock in your 40, no?
No, I think this is the 50-plus game from Joe.
Ooh, there it is, huh?
I really do. I'm sorry, from what's it called? From Zion.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I said job accident.
Let's do this. You realize if that game stays, if Booker and whatever get there, it's because Harden has like 90 fantasy points, right?
If Booker and who get there?
Or Paul or Ayton or any of those guys get there, probably because Harden had like 100 fantasy points.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I'm realizing that as I'm going through my middling builds, I can't use Ayton and then because it just doesn't make sense. Exactly.
Hey, do you think that when we saw that Phoenix was a 6-point favorite, do you think that there was like some like secret knowledge that they knew that Kyrie was going to be out?
I told you, I think that they were probably skeptical about them both playing on back-to-backs.
Yeah.
It did look too high. I think it did jump to 7, but still, I don't think that's indicative of what would have been. It actually might be still climbing. I'm not sure. I don't think Grayson Allen is terrible, by the way.
No, he's playing a shitload of minutes.
He played really, really well the other night, though. He made like everything he was putting up. Not the last game, but the game before that. So he actually ended up 6 of 10. He was 6 of 7 at one point. So you're not playing that much, JaMychal Green, huh?
Yeah, I'm playing enough.
Okay. Do you feel like these projections on Maladona seem a little bit low?
You said that before. Yeah, I got to play more. On DraftKings, I got to play Green, I think, more.
I mean, look, I've got him too many.
Yeah, you know what? You've talked me into it. I'm going 1,000%. That's it.
Oh.
I don't want that. I want this.
Jordan.
Okay, that's good.
All right, I'll answer a few questions in a minute, guys. I think I've got this pretty much. Yeah, I've come a little bit off of some of the Boston guys who I was into earlier a little bit.
The Boston guys?
Yeah. I have a little bit of them, but not in my big ones. And I like it too. I kind of feel bad not to have more of it, but it's just I couldn't get over the Jaylen Brown assist thing. Like,
what do you mean?
He just has no assists in 3 of the last 4 games. It's really hard to get there. You need guys like that. You need them to do more, and I think he will. Like, I don't think it's going to stay that way, but it's an unusual thing. Like, it's really hard to do. It doesn't happen very often. I had to get a little bit of Ojale too to get some of my ultra other.
You like Ojale, huh? I don't know, man. I'm not too into him.
Yeah.
He's obviously still starting, right?
Yeah, he's starting and he's going to play minutes. It's just if you're going to play these other 3,300 values,
right,
why not throw him in there also? You know what I mean? Just get out all of it.
Yeah.
Try and hit it all. And then play your other guy. Ja.
So we are
Ja Lowry.
Something you're not gonna hold on a minute. So just for you guys have been interested, hold on. I am now up $392 in NHL for the season. So we are putting 2 entries in the 40 tonight. We are stepping it up.
Oh my God, the NHL.
You're stepping it up.
Nice. That's a win. It's great to be profitable.
Yep. All right. So let's see. Any questions here?
I'm sure there's some in there.
Oops, what's that? Let me get to FanDuel, see where I'm at there. Are we fading Joe Harris? He's going to be Robin for Harden. Rebounding for Harden? The other problem, yeah, there you go. Joe Val and GPPs at minimal ownership. You could say that every single slate.
Yep. Tonight is not especially good on any of the
and I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that he's always a really good tournament play. He just is.
Yeah. This is a bad matchup. I'll say that for him.
You want to know why? Also, he's also, I guess, because there's always a good spend up, and there's always like some good cheap centers.
Mm-hmm.
So he just kind of got that price range. Usually seems to fall through the cracks a little bit.
But also, he's totally on. I mean, well, also it's also a terrible night for him too because Brandon Clark is back. The reason why we liked him before was because Brandon Clark was out. People forget this stuff, but it doesn't mean that he can't have a game. But that's important stuff. You know what I mean?
Murray, Dort. All right, that's good.
I do sort of like that. I'm starting to like this Bobby Portis idea a little bit. Like, I could see him just going nuts in this kind of a matchup, you know?
Yeah.
I don't have much of it. I just was throwing it out there.
I think I have more Harden on FanDuel than on DraftKings. Look at this. I snuck one lineup with Alex Caruso in the $3.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad. I don't even know what that is. I can't play the $3.
Yeah, you can on FanDuel?
Oh, on FanDuel I can. If it's the big one.
I'm gonna pay for first, dude. I mean,
yeah, I didn't realize it was that one.
Okay.
So
don't forget, just because of all this value doesn't mean that Van Vliet and Middleton are not both incredibly good plays.
No, especially on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Okay. Harden.
One Landry Shamet in the 3. These are the things that I need to get. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna take Harden out of one of mine. Let's see what I can make happen. It just feels so. It's because I want to play Harden in my Towns lineup. I've got 2 big lineups. This is what I'm dealing with sheets. I want to play Harden in my Towns lineup, but I also want to play. I don't want to play Giannis and not Harden in one. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Giannis and Lowry.
Okay. Drac Cornelius has hit it right on the head. That doesn't mean that's the only take, but here's the deal. OKC has been keeping up with everybody, okay, with whatever they put on the court, and that's like an incredible testament to whatever they're doing over there. They're playing. They're in every game, and Drac is saying, "Watch Lillard break the slate if OKC can keep up." I cannot dispute that at all. Lillard will always break the slate. And I do think that it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
So I'll tell you why I don't think Lillard can break the slate.
Okay.
Why it would be hard for him. So he has to get to 70 – on this kind of a slate, he has to get to 75 probably for you to break the slate.
Well, then he won't. Why is that?
Well, because there's almost – I would call it a very little chance that one of Giannis, Harden, any of these guys, what's it called? They're not going to be – they're all going to be at 65 plus. So breaking a slate means you have to at least outscore those other guys. Now, if he puts up – you'd obviously be thrilled if he puts up 60, but in reality, that may not even be enough for that. Like, you might get 65 out of Towns. You might get, 75.
Well, Towns is different because Towns isn't the same price as Harden and Giannis and them, right?
No, Towns is cheaper than – my point is Towns is cheaper. One of these guys, Jokic, any of these guys, could end up putting up that much score. So he's not going to break the slate with anything but a 75 plus.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can win. Like it was the night, for example, like I think Crane was actually the person. He finished second the night Boogie was going back to Sacramento. He didn't play, and Boogie was 88% owned and put up like 75 fantasy points at like nothing. Or no, it was 85 fantasy points I think he put up. Something crazy. He faded him, and he still finished second in the tournament. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, like there's tons of other routes to get points. So I don't think slate breaking is going to be easy for any of these guys without getting to, maybe I shouldn't say 75, 65 plus.
Thank you very much, Zane, by the way. I don't know if I comment on this. Listen, and you see if anybody sees anything, like starting lineups, anything at all, don't presume that we've seen it. You know what I mean? Just put it in there. I appreciate Zane putting the Celtics starting lineup in there.
Yeah, Zane has been great. Thanks, Zane, for that.
Yeah, I just did. Thank you. And again, pretty much what we thought. Well, you usually didn't have to start. They could have started the neck tat or whatever the guy's name is. What's the guy's name again?
No, Time Lord wasn't going to start ever.
What's his name?
Time Lord. Robert Williams.
Time Lord. Right.
RW3.
Who's that?
Robert Williams. I'm just making up for him. Same guy.
RW3 got Westbrook, right?
What's that?
So that's not Russell Westbrook the third, right?
No. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, there was one where there was one like I was about to coach a game and Bobby texted me like I think it's play Davis or something like that, or Davis is out, but it wasn't Anthony Davis. It was like some value Davis on FanDuel. I forget his name. Doug Davis, Dale Davis, or some Davis, and I got the wrong one or something. I played the wrong one. I think he smashed.
No.
I forget who it was. And then the other was I said when somebody, I think you came and said AD is out. I thought you meant Drummond. And yeah, it was so yeah. I gotta be really good with this. The baseball ones, I was the worst. The baseball nicknames, I was a disaster. So,
guys, I'm gonna throw another name out for value.
Yeah, Kemba, I probably should have talked about him some more. I mean, this is the deal. You know, he's still a really, really good value on FanDuel, and I, you know how much I have him. I have one lineup with him.
Yeah, I want to throw out another play on DraftKings that I like. Shamit.
I said I have one of them on FanDuel.
About Shamit?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought you were talking about.
I had the Caruso too. Yeah, I was talking about him. I have one with the Caruso in the 3. I got one with Shamit in the 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn off Discord soon because it's starting to. When it blows up when we're on, I'm like, I can't do anything about it. I can't answer.
Well,
that.
Discord? What do you just turn the sound down?
I know. Well, can you do that?
Yeah, of course.
I thought you have to. I do have the sound off.
I guess not.
It says unmute. It doesn't give me the mute option. So as of right now, I have Jared Vanderbilt in my big lineup on FanDuel, which
you've come around. Excellent.
I'm not into it. I'm trying to find another.
Of course not. It's a horror show.
I think that it's going to turn into Ojale in a minute. That's where we're at, Cheats.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think probably neither of them do anything, but that's fine.
How about that? Like instead of doing the Harden thing, I used the weird value. I played my Time Lord. I played Hampton in this one, and then I played Lowry with Zion. I'm sorry, Lowry, Ja, Zion, and Giannis for a couple little mini game stacks. It's kind of fun. At least you know what you're rooting for.
Speaking of knowing what you're rooting for, I can tell my grandchildren that I started off the day with this incredible point guard combination of like Lillard and Kemba Walker. Mm-hmm. And then now, as I'm going into lock in the big one, I've got the pairing of Campazzo and Hampton together.
That's true.
But
you know what? I'm sticking with Vanderbilt. You know what I'll do? I'll do one pivot off of him in the 44 or something, and play Zeke instead. I actually think Zeke might be a better play.
Zeke.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, isn't it? Am I crazy?
The way I like to say, you can't play everybody, I guess. But
no, but I'm trying to find the value. There's only 2 value power forwards other than Green.
You love Zane likes the Ja Zion narrative.
Yeah, I'm into it. I don't think it's just a narrative. It's a good game tempo. It's a good everything for everybody. And I think that Ja has been on the verge of busting for a while. He just can't make any shots lately. If he starts making a few shots, I mean, look out. The only thing is, what about Jaden McDaniels?
Oh, I can't get down there.
I'm not doing it, but I actually like Jaden McDaniels as a player. But I might be in the minority based on the way that you said that.
All right, big day tomorrow because tomorrow's
Wednesday, and then we have almost a nothing day on Thursday.
Oh, so just so you guys know, tomorrow I am almost definitely not going to be here for this.
Okay.
And possibly Thursday as well, but I should be able. I should be there for the. I'll be there to record with you though, Bobby.
Sounds good.
Oh, you know what I have? Oh, I can't believe I have this.
What's that?
I have in what I consider a big lineup in the Slam. Mm-hmm. I have Zeke on FanDuel.
That's what I have him in too.
Excellent.
You know what? I also have him in the $100 on FanDuel too. So,
all right.
All right. Hey guys, good luck to everybody out there. If there's any other questions, you can throw them into the Discord now. I'll try to answer them for you. Appreciate all your guys' thoughts and give some thoughts to what Sheets was saying about things you guys would like to see from us. We've had a lot of questions, a lot of requests, a lot of DMs, a lot of people telling us they want us to get our site going. So tell us exactly what you want to see.
See you later.